Yo, what is good, people? I go by the name of Killer Beezy, and today we do not have the face cam because I wanted to talk you guys through this video. So I've been slowly trying to explore 7.1.2 and well, 7.1 overall, but this particular fight is the Rhino Boss in 7.1.2. And let me tell you, man, I had such a hard time on the first run of trying to beat this Rhino Boss, right? And he's got a few nodes. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But Nick Fury is by far one of, if not the best, champion to use against this Rhino Boss, man, because the node works. It's kind of so there's a power shield node, right? So you can only deal damage to this Rhino by using your special attacks, okay? But there's a little grey symbol that you can probably see. A grey is it's like a passive kind of buff, we'll call it, right? Above Rhino's head. Now, as you would have seen, you would have just seen it disappear, okay? So what happens is if we knock Rhino down when he has that grey buff above his head, we take an absolute immense amount of damage if we knock him down with those buffs out, right? So you need to clear his buffs, right? And the only way to clear his buffs is by applying three different kind of debuffs to him, okay? So one of them can be disorient, the other one can be I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's the debuff that Gwenpool applies, and I think Spider-Gwen also has a chance to apply it as well. The one that prevents them from gaining power for a certain amount of time, okay? So it begins with E. I can't remember the name of it. I'll probably put it up on the screen as we're in the process of doing this video. But yeah, so it's either that or you can apply a concussion. Sorry, it's four ways. Or you can apply a taunt, okay? So if you apply one of these four debuffs, so, oh, there we go, Innovate, okay? So if you apply either Disorient, Innovate, Taunt, or Concussion, you are able to clear the grey little buff symbol that is above Rhino's head, okay? So once you've cleared that, then you can kind of knock him down, okay? So if you use an opponent's special and the special applies that debuff to Rhino, you can activate that special when the grey symbol is up, because as soon as you activate the special, by the end of your special, you would have knocked Rhino down, but the debuff would have been applied, so therefore you're then able to knock down Rhino without him having the grey buff on, okay? So it's fine. Now, I, of course, don't have Nick Fury, so for me, obviously I couldn't use Nick Fury. I tried out Luke Cage for this, and Luke Cage was okay. The problem that I had with Luke Cage is Luke Cage can only apply a, what's the debuff? He can only apply a concussion debuff if he applies a few exhaustion debuffs, okay? And there's a certain percentage of a chance that Luke Cage can apply exhaustion debuffs. So how it works is when you use Luke Cage's SP2, his debuffs will the SP2 will convert exhaustion debuffs into a concussion. So I was finding that by the time I got to my L2, because we can only gain power from every time Rhino uses a special attack. So I was finding that there were times where Rhino would use his special, I would get to my special 2 bar, and I'm trying to do combos with light attacks and mix of like medium and then light attacks, and I'm not applying any exhaustion buffs. And then if he then uses another special attack and I get pushed to my SB3, I have no way of applying a concussion debuff, and then I just die. So so it's a little bit too unreliable for me. It definitely relies on RNG if you're using Luke Cage. So I personally wouldn't recommend Luke Cage for this. Gwenpool has a guaranteed Innovate debuff on her SP2. So I found her okay to use. It's a very long fight with Gwenpool though, but I found her okay to use. So someone I wanted to try was Stark Spider-Man. And you guys are going to see now here that he worked absolutely amazing for me, man. So here's the thing with Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, right? And why it's so good. One of the things I tried to do, you can see by the way I'm playing Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, is I'm trying not to parry from a distance, just in case Rhino's dash towards me has a chance of being unblockable, you know, because then I'm going to take a lot of damage. So what I tried to do was get into the habit of hitting into the block and then going for the parry right in front of Rhino, because then he's going to hit me with a light attack, which doesn't have a chance of going unblockable. And then if I hit the parry, then it's fine, you know. So apart from then, as you just saw, we did take a chance there. But that was like the main kind of strategy that I tried to use. And then knowing that whenever I did get the parry or whenever I did evade a special, I'm always going to guarantee to land a taunt debuff. And because you do so much evading with the way of style that I'm playing, I can literally launch any special attack. Obviously, the SP2 is going to do the most damage, and then he's also going to take damage from the shock. But ideally, we're always more or less going to be at 9 or 10 buffs with Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, and we are always going to be able to apply the taunt. So I found this so reliable because for majority of the fight, I didn't have to worry about the buffs that were the grey buff that was on Rhino, and I could literally do it like it was a normal fight, you know. Literally at the beginning of the fight, you probably see I attempted to like refresh the taunt a little bit, and then I kind of figured like, look, I don't need to worry so much about refreshing the taunt, because if I can just apply the taunt just before I use my L2, then I'm cool, you know. So as you can see, I kind of tend to not throw a special attack if the taunt is kind of like more than halfway done, because I don't want the animations of the taunt I don't want the debuff of the taunt to end before my special attack finishes. So I always made sure that the debuff timer was over halfway before launching my special attack, because then I know I've got a guaranteed an amount of time that by the time the animations of my special attack finish, the taunt will still be up there, you know. So I mean, Stark Spidey for me, he was absolutely amazing for this fight, man. Like I kind of wasn't too sure whether it would, like, not necessarily whether it would work, but how it would work from a perspective of obviously taking a lot of damage and block damage or whatnot. But if you kind of just play the same similar style or better to like what I was doing, literally just hitting into the block to back him into the corner, and then literally only trying to parry when I'm like right in front of Rhino, so then that way I won't be trying to parry a medium attack, then yeah, it was I really didn't have to worry. So it was literally a case of like, you know, certain times you would see me hitting into his block just to try and build up his power, you know, and that way I was then able to bait specials and literally just counter attack after a special attack, you know. So it really worked out well for me, man, and I'm really glad that I got the solo, because I attempted this on my first run against Rhino. I went in with Luke Cage, I even tried with Gwenpool, and it took me a couple of attempts to really kind of understand the node and really push myself to try and get him down the first time. And I probably used about maybe 6 revives. I used about 3 to 4 trying Luke Cage, and when I realized that it was just plainly on RNG and hoping that I would get lucky with exhaustion buffs, I kind of was just like, no, this guy's too unreliable for me, man. But as you can see, man, we managed to get it down with Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. So if anyone is stuck on this and you don't have Nick Fury, I would definitely recommend Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care for now, guys. Peace.